And we're back. So this is the, well, not quite finished product of that one. We'll see what the finished article is going to be with this one. But it was just making sure that the holes were in the correct place, which they just about were. Obviously a bit rough and ready on the seams, but as I mentioned already, you're not going to see those anyway. And I still had this issue with the leather flap. So what I decided to do with that one was glue the case into that one. We'll come back to that later. So I decided to make another template using some more cardboard. This was a bit thin, so I had to double layer the cardboard with that Pritt stick that you can see there. And then I did the template on the correct side this time to get a suede outer. I am going to do that brown one at some point because it is quite a nice colour. However, back to this one. So draw the template out. Very awkward because I'd only got a red and a black Sharpie, but I did the template onto the leather anyway, and then I'm just double checking that all of the holes are a big enough size to make sure I haven't got to recut any of the leather once I've done it, but I still think I did. So you can only just about see the red Sharpie on that one. I can't remember why I didn't do a black Sharpie with that. It would have been a little bit easier to see. It was pretty awkward. So that's going to be the outer side, and that's the inner side, obviously. I can't remember how long this video is. Oh, there we go. I didn't really show you on the last one. Just been really careful to go, just as far as I need to. And it did take a bit longer than necessary because I didn't want to overcut, particularly these boxes. So I almost went on purpose not far enough, and then just had to see what's not quite popping out, and then just had to do really gently, just teasing it, a bit like I do with your mum some nights, until it opened up. Yeah, that was an unintended one, and gradually, as I say, you can see how my crafting skills are pretty pants. You'll notice on this one, I was actually cutting it on a glass surface rather than that cork surface. It gave a sharper or a better cut, I think. The problem obviously is it blunts the blade a lot quicker, and I think what I probably should have done was snap the blade down to a sharper point. I did use a scalpel at one point, and initially it was fantastic, but it blunted really quickly, so I got a couple of really good sharp cuts on it, but it did blunt really fast. So quick fizz through. I didn't record a couple of them. That's basically the template done, glued onto the back of the leather, and I put it on with some overlap and border adhesive that you'd use for your wallpaper. The super glue that I was using was Loctite, and these are the finished articles. So I showed you what I did on the very early on with the brown one in the middle, and with the other two on the outer ones, the two leather ones, the one with the cardboard inside. Obviously you can see the botch up job earlier on. I didn't leave enough of an overlap with the leather on the side where the controls are for the play and pause and the SIM card holes. So this time I made sure. There you go. I'm just showing that I glued basically that leather case onto the cardboard. The cutout there is just about big enough for the USB-C, and what I then did to make it tidy, I cut all of the I don't know why I did that one there. I cut all of the additional or excess cardboard that you could see. That was a bit of a ball ache, but because I'd glued it on by that point. So just showing, you can see it still will plug in, although it was a unlike your mum, it was a little bit of a tight fit. And actually quite like that case in the end. This one I think I still prefer the finish, because I'd made the mistakes on the brown one. The edges are better, the cutouts are better, and it's a softer feel. It's like a suede kind of feel to the case. And again, you can see what you need to see. Right down at the bottom, it's a bit awkward maybe if you've got fat podgy fingers, so you might, if you're doing this, just leave a little bit more space at the bottom of the screen for the cutout. And this was the final one that I did, thinking, oh, I can just make one out of leather, and you can't, because obviously leather is too soft, and as you see, it just drops out, which is not really much use. So I'm gonna try and do another couple. And there you go. And I've still got a ton of this stuff in the. I put it in the garage to get it out of the way, but I've still got a load. I'm gonna make a brown suede one, and then this brown leather one. So I've got a whole range to go with. But overall, I'm really pleased with the result. From even with the first one that I did, it turned out pretty nicely in the end. So you can see the entire video. I've done it as a fast forward because you don't want to watch me for 10 minutes. And there you go, folks. As it says, thanks for watching. I hope that's been of some help to some people. And take care. And I'll see you in the next one at some point. Bye for now.